Hey everybody, Pat Benage here, the evolution coach, creator of the 6-week shift, the inner path, and this inspirational blog, SoulTalk. And today, I actually want to talk about something that personally I'm going through right at the moment. And it's something that oftentimes causes us to get off track. It's an easy point at which we can kind of make a wrong turn in life. And what it is transition. You know, we get oftentimes in a place where it feels like we're not moving forward. Maybe losing a little bit of direction, maybe things feel a little bit in flux. And when that happens, we have a tendency, it's kind of human nature, to try to figure out how to get where we think we're going, how to get through that, and how to sort of jump over whatever space we're in at the moment. And so we're looking for solutions to what we perceive to be a problem, when in fact it's simply a part of our growth process, of our evolution, that we go through transition times, periods when things are changing. Change happens all the time. Obviously, it's a continual process of changing. However, most of the time it's pretty subtle, and it just continues to happen. But we reach points in our lives where we're making a shift, kind of stepping up the ladder a little bit, or at least we have that opportunity. And when that opportunity presents itself, for a moment, and that moment can last a while, it's hard to know. For a moment, we're not in the level we were before, and we're not in the level we're moving toward. And so we're in this transitional space. And the reason that I know for certain that I'm in that space at the moment is because it's showing up in my physical experience, in my life experience. It shows up in a variety of ways, and I find that things as simple as transferring my website domain from one provider to another gets held up. It gets into this place of being in transition, and it's stuck in there for at least a moment, and it shows up in other ways as well. But this is something that brought it to the forefront for me. That it wasn't about my domain transferring. It was an inner transition that I'm dealing with at the moment. And it's not that I have felt stuck, but it's a time when I feel in between. And so there's a certain amount of uncertainty around that, of, am I moving forward? Do I need, the mind starts going, do I need to do something different? Do I need to adjust? What do I need to do here? Because you get that sense of the forward motion has stopped. It'd be like, all of a sudden your engine stops in the car, and for just that split second, you kind of notice it, but you don't know exactly what happened. But your life has momentum, and you do continue to move in a direction, but in that transitional time, it almost feels like there's no movement. And so, again, your mind goes to, okay, I need to do something. I need to I need to get going again. I need to do this or that or whatever. And you start messing with it. And what inevitably happens if the mind starts messing with it is that you end up sort of falling back into that previous level. So this transition time is actually a time where you get to make the choice to move forward or to step back into that comfortable place for a little while. So when you fall back into that, then you go back into the sensation that you're moving forward, even though you've taken just a step backwards to do that, or perhaps 2 steps back. And so this is where the little saying, 1 step forward, 2 steps back, it comes from. I mean, it comes from the fact that you are moving forward, but you get into that transitional space and you start messing with things and you go back. Because the mind doesn't know where it's going, really. And when you get in that transitional stage, it tries to figure out how to get where it doesn't know where it's going. So the key, and with all of this, is to let go of that need to make that adjustment somewhere. To let go of that need to fix it, to sort of get yourself moving again. So because you get out of alignment, you get off in another direction. You start trying to push things when all you really need to do is raise your own perspective, raise your own point of view, raise your own consciousness up to that next level. And it's simple when you have the awareness to just step back for a moment and take a look at it. Then you can recognize what's happening. And then you have the choice. You can still choose to try to make it happen. But my experience is that whenever I try to make something happen, I tend to mess it up. And when I just trust that everything is unfolding perfectly, then I make my way through that. And so part of the process of raising one's consciousness, raising one's perspective and point of view, is moving into that space of trust. When I move into the space of trust, then I know that the universe, that soul, that source, has all things taken care of. That everything actually is unfolding perfectly. And so I can choose to be irritated by what's not happening, that I think ought to be happening, or I can relax and allow and trust that everything is going to unfold properly. Now, here's the question that comes up, and the question that I have, on my own is, okay, so does that mean that I don't do anything? Does that mean that I just sit back and not participate? Well, of course not. Of course not. That's the other choice. I mean, you got multiple choices here always. but that's the other end of the spectrum. You can choose to just jump into it and try to fix it, or you can choose to go the opposite direction and do nothing and just to see what happens. But like I've been talking about, the answer really is somewhere in the middle. And so you have to try to bring yourself back into that middle ground and move forward without, it's what some teachings will call effortless effort. So, or maybe path of least resistance, or whatever it is, but you just again have to, and it does help to go back to those 3 questions that we talked about. What do you want, or who are you? Where are you? And what do you want? Because that will give clarity to it. But once you get to that place of recognizing where you are in this transitional phase and what do you want, then simply take, the natural steps toward that. So, using the example, if I want my website domain to be transferred over, then I just have to go walk through those steps. Not try to, get mad about it, or, not get upset even after that first reaction that I did get upset. Then I've got to step back and go, okay, so what is happening here? What is happening? And then just move through the steps. Contact the people and get the process going again, and know that everything's going to work out. That all things are going to work out. And it's so easy sometimes, even for relatively little things, to throw us off, and that's particularly true when we're in that sort of a transitional phase, because it does have an effect that you sort of, in that shifting process, it's like you're shifting from second to third gear, but you're momentarily in neutral. And so it's not, you're not getting anywhere. And so it's real easy to get off course. It's real easy to get off course and get distracted, because the momentum has eased a bit. It's eased a bit. And that's a purposeful process. Whenever you're making that sort of a transition, life will automatically do that. It will automatically give you that choice again, because you have to raise your vibration, you have to raise your consciousness to another level, so that you've sort of proven that you're ready. You show yourself, you show life that you're ready to actually make that transition, to complete that process and move forward. Because nothing happens in life until you're ready. Nothing. So I hope that I've been reasonably clear in this, because I'm still in that transitional phase, and I'm choosing to trust and allow it to move forward. But it is a process. Even for me, it's a process to get myself recentered and back to that middle ground, and just allow the universe to line back up. Because if I momentarily jump out of alignment, then it stirs things up, and I've got to ease back into it and allow life to come back as well. And so it requires some patience and just trusting. That's big key. So hope that's been helpful for you. Again, if you like what you hear, if it's been of value to you, click the link, forward to a friend, share on Facebook, Instagram, wherever. Just I appreciate you helping to spread the word, so to speak. And so again, it's just one of those, one more time where it's indicated to me, life's indicated to me, don't live it from the outside in. Don't pay attention to what's going on here over what's going on in here. And so remember, always live life from the inside out. And we'll see you next week. Thanks.